Lee, thank you very much for taking time out of your really busy tour schedule promoting Nothing to Lose. I've got a whole load of questions here from Reacher creatures across the globe, which I'd like to put to you.
Go ahead.
And so we'll get started straight into it. Rod from Glasgow is asking, a famous artist once said, "When I drink coffee, ideas come marching in like an army." With this in mind, do you think there's any connection between Reacher loving coffee and being in the army?
No. You love coffee when you've been in the army because you get great coffee in the army, but I don't think there's a connection. It's not coffee that makes the ideas come marching in for me. It's something else which I believe is still a class 3 drug. That's what's good for the ideas.
I think we'd best not go any further there because this will be broadcast in Britain. Okay, Ray from the Lee Child forums, she's given me 3 questions. Looking back after 12 books, what's the biggest surprise about a writer's life, and are you still having fun?
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun, yeah. The biggest surprise in my writer's life was meeting Ray, probably.
Right, excellent. And the follow-up question to that is, what in your view is the biggest change in publishing over the last 12 years?
I'm not sure there have been huge changes. I think, anecdotally it seems to be harder for middle-list writers and harder for people to break in, and slightly less commitment towards building writers, but I don't think it's changed that much. This fundamental proposition is still the same for agents, for editors, for everybody. If the book is good, that's all they want. I mean, these people get up in the morning desperately hoping that something good is going to show up, and that's the same as it's always been.
Still a question from Ray. If you were creating Reacher today, would anything be different?
I don't know, maybe his mother wouldn't have been French. I'm not sure. I mean, no, I'd keep him the same.
Is that a regret for you, that you made his mother French?
No, it's just that first book you start with whatever you start with, and then you're stuck with that forever. And it would have been more convenient to do it possibly different ways. But no, he is who he is. I'll stick with it.
Okay. Final question from Ray. Have fans ascribed traits to Reacher that you didn't intend? For example, do readers maybe think he has a sense of humour that you don't? I've no idea whether this is true. She's just interested in how readers invest characters with personality traits that the writer may not have thought of or intended.
I'm pretty sure Reacher does have a sense of humour. I think he's got more of a sense of humour than readers ascribe to him. I mean, at events people say, "Oh, you're so funny. Why isn't Reacher funny?" And I think he is funny. I mean, I think he makes a lot of jokes, but they're very dry and very sardonic, and maybe they pass people by. As far as traits go, yeah, some people think he's dark-haired, some people think he's fair-haired. He's a mirror, basically. People look at him and see what they want to see.
Okay, Grant. Marcus from New Zealand, he's also on the Lee Child forums.
Yo, Marcus.
Marcus, yeah. Did you have Reacher in your head long before you wrote Killing Floor? I've always wondered if Reacher was a long-term idea or fantasy figure in your imagination, or if you just made him up for Killing Floor.
He's a fantasy figure in everybody's imagination. I mean, that's why he works. He's the tough guy that we all want to have by our side. I think that's the exact point. That's why he's popular, because we all invent him over the centuries, exactly the same. So I think he's just a version of a character that's always been there.
Okay. Dot from the forums. What she really wants to ask is why you can't give up having a life and writing 2 books a year. She doesn't feel she can ask you that question, but I beg to differ, as I think it's a fantastic idea.
Because I get asked this question a lot in America, and I have to explain, listen, I'm from Europe, I have no work ethic. At Granada we used to have this saying, if somebody said thank you very much, you would say, you're welcome, it's the least I can do. And the least I can do is my aim.
Still another question from Dot. If you could change any part of the plot of any of your books, would you? And if so, which part?
I would certainly change things in books 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What was book 9? One shot, yeah, and 9 too. Those middle books, there is, in each one of them, there's something I would take out if I could.
Right.
The later books, I've learned the trade and I'm happy with them. The earlier books, you can look at them, they were fine, or else there's just so much of a mess, they're irretrievable. But those middle books, there was always something that I now regret. But later on, I'm getting better at it.